All right, we're 1 week into the Hungry Ghost reset, which means that it's day 7. And by this point, you've sat with these concepts enough that hopefully you've started to notice what tends to be the emotions, the feelings, the circumstances, pick up the Hungry Ghost cravings or the pull or the conversation. And also have started to notice your own self-talk and how you treat yourself when you're facing these challenges, right? And whether you had slip-ups or not, that doesn't matter. The point is really noticing this and developing more self-awareness, self-understanding, self-compassion, and mindfulness around it so that we can move into the rest of our life when we're relating to these habits with a little bit more freedom rather than thinking that they are in control of us, because it's just not true. Anyway, so the first thing is befriending the Hungry Ghost really has to do with knowing that the Hungry Ghost means well. You've developed coping mechanism time for your survival, and the Hungry Ghost is trying to more than not is usually showing up to protect you, to put out a fire, to make emotions more palatable, bearable, or maybe to numb them so you don't have to deal with them temporarily. I know for myself, the most common reason the Hungry Ghost comes up is boredom. As an ADHDer, boredom is really difficult. It's a challenging thing it has been a challenging thing in my life. It might seem silly to you, but if I'm bored, I have a hard time working on a project. I have a hard time showing up. If I'm not interested, if I don't have that pull, it can actually be really, really challenging. So in some way, my body my mind, my brain, my nervous system has developed a fear of boredom. And so how to keep me engaged can often do with reaching for things that I don't necessarily want or need. So that I can stay around people who are drinking, I might drink. Otherwise, I might think this is boring. Or in order to get through a difficult day of needing to sit still, I might consume tons and tons of coffee and things like that. So when the Hungry Ghost comes up and makes these suggestions, having a conversation. Thank you, Hungry Ghost. I know you mean well. I know you don't want me to feel this boredom, but actually, I'm really going to try my best today to find other ways to work through this boredom. And that's where the conversation, so you're thanking the Hungry Ghost, we're not demonizing it, we're just knowing it's a friend, knowing it means well, knowing that we've learned these coping mechanisms through our nurturing process in life, and then moving the conversation over to you. Okay, Cole, you're bored, babe. How are we going to get through this? How are we going to make sure that you're not suffering through this, that you can engage? And sometimes that might mean getting up and moving my body, going to a yoga class where I can actually process my emotions, having a moment of taking a break and moving around, talking to someone, calling someone, having a conversation, remembering my why as to why I'm doing something, whatever it is that just brings in a little bit of zest for life, rather than just pushing through it or bypassing it. So a lot of the healthy dopamine replacements are things that you could still process your emotions while doing, opposed to the quick fix dopamine sources, which tend to numb the emotions that are coming up so that you don't have to deal with them, and therefore they stay for a really long time. If I'm in a perpetual state of boredom, that's information, right? That means, oh, you're not stimulated by this job and you're probably not doing a good job. Oh, this relationship isn't very fulfilling. That might be information that you don't, you might need to move on. Hang out with these friends it's only fun if you're under the influence of something. Oh, okay, well, maybe we don't actually have a connection. Maybe my time would be better spent elsewhere, right? So we don't want to bypass the emotion. The emotion is really important. We want to find things that are going to help us process the emotion. And while we're in that process, make sure that our self-talk is kind and helpful so that we don't get more dysregulated and then therefore need to reach for the Hungry Ghost's favorite habits in order to cope. So we can talk more about this in the future, but for today, I would love for you to share what that emotion is that tends to come up most often where the Hungry Ghost is trying to help you, And two, if there's any reoccurring thought loops that you are noticing that you would like to release, or your replacement thoughts, kind thoughts that you would like to be engaging in instead. Okay? Have a great day. Happy Sunday. We're about to move into week 2, which is going to be a little bit easier than week 1. Week 1 was a doozy, but you killed it, and congratulations. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.